We got Clinton Mayor David Barong joining us. You got your Hawaiian shirt on. You're ready for this heat.
Oh, sure. That it's a psychological thing. I'm in Honolulu right now.
I wish we were deep in the ocean right now. This is a day, people always complain about the Pacific, how cold the water is in California. But this is a day that I wish the Pacific Ocean was right here in Oklahoma. I wouldn't mind jumping into
or the Arkansas River.
weather.
The Arkansas River and around Breckenridge in Buena Vista, Colorado.
Yeah.
About a month ago, I unadvisedly jumped in with my granddaughters who were on a raft trip, and I will tell you that was a very cold experience.
Wow.
My yelling is still in the echo chambers of the Brown Canyon.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we may get some relief by midweek. We're looking at, middle 90s. So, that'll be okay if it happens.
I think so. I know the people that are rehearsing for the musical Oklahoma, which I invite everyone to get online and get your tickets or go in person to the Southwest Playhouse in late September and 1st of October. They are having to find ways to get outdoors and do and be in rehearsal in these temperatures, and it's very difficult until after 8:00 at night to rehearse. Because it's an outdoor musical, McLean Rogers Park. They have the wonderful indoors, but outdoors has been oppressive. And so they're looking forward to a week that shows mid-90s.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, if they actually are going through rehearsals at the amphitheater, or do they do some inside?
Both. Well, no, they do. It's a real blessing. They've got the inside of the old middle school and in the auditorium, which is a Presidium stage, which is what the amphitheater is. It's just smaller.
Yeah.
And they're able to get quality rehearsal in central cooling.
Good.
But they have got to move out, and they are moving out. The set is being built. It's unbelievable what this musical is going to end up being for the presentation outdoors, and hopefully a beautiful and cooler fall as people look to it. And I'll mention it, Oklahoma on 66.com.
Yeah.
And get your tickets. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic show. And barbecue if you want.
Yeah, the big chuck wagon.
Big chuck wagon, fireworks. I'm telling you, this is we're going all out. And hopefully it's going to be let's see, a busload. Let's see, what was it? 40 some odd Girl Scouts bought tickets. The area scouting.
Yeah.
They bought tickets, as I understand, over the weekend.
Cool.
Yeah, and so a lot of buses and tour people across the state and the country.
It'll be neat to see, and hopefully by then we'll have this cool little Route 66 monument going up in the triangle across
that's
from
right.
McLean Rogers.
Well, we're next for placement, and the city, to their credit, we bought a piece of property right across from the mouth of the entry of McLean Rogers Park, which is right at the crossroads, the intersection of two Route 66 pathways, and this new monument that the state is putting up in each of the Route 66, and it'll specialize, for Clinton.
Yeah,
we're excited about it, and we're going to beautify that area, which is a big part of what a responsibility I think of the city. And the beautification committee that I appointed, they're all working together to take advantage of this celebration, the 66 celebration, and upgrading so many more beautiful areas in Clinton.
No, well, that's really cool. When I first heard the story, I'm like, the triangle. I'm trying to picture in my mind. So I was in town last week.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I went, oh, yes, it's you don't even notice that it's there when it was just empty.
No.
And now it's going to really stand out.
Oh, it's going to be great.
And
I think I know the city is hoping to take this little patch of asphalt, which is also a part of the land purchase.
Yeah.
That is now asphalt. They're going to turn it to grass.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
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 Now, what's the latest? And I know this is like the West OK Co-op that is doing
Right.
it. What's the latest on like that signage?
Well,
Are they
I think
delayed on that a little
now,
bit?
No, I think that they are now have gone through all the technical ups and downs. Getting permission from the state of Oklahoma, parking, which is where the rails are, and the Farm Rail Organization,
Yeah.
and having like a handicap parking area in the park. There are details that had to be worked out that has slowed the timeline. But I was just talking to the architect and to West Oak Co-op, Jason Smith, and Andrew Stone, just at the city council meeting last Tuesday. They're on track here that there should be some real construction now beginning on old Route 66 coming in Clinton. It's going to be fabulous.
It's going to be neat. I'm a little disappointed though, because with the Route 66 festival coming to town, I was hoping we'd have that up by then. But when you're dealing with red tape, right?
Well, yes, and unanticipated technical things. There are just a lot of areas that had to say okay to getting this thing started, but once it's there, it's going to be fabulous. It'll be during this centennial year.
Yeah.
That it's just, we've got a huge car show coming. Is that what you're talking about on the 5th? And Governor Stitt's coming. And, so it's going to be a big September, October, November, and December.
It really is. When you think about all the things happening on Route 66 in Clinton, it's pretty incredible. And once again, back to Oklahoma, get your tickets now because it's limited performances, guys.
And it's 3 different weekends.
Yeah.
And it should just be a fantastic for young and old alike.
Yeah.
And introducing to many people the actual musical Oklahoma, which changed the national perspective of who Oklahoma was, from John Steinbeck's
Grapes of
Wrath to Oklahoma the musical, and which is touring the United States now and has been ever since the late 40s and the 50s. I mean, my goodness, they took this musical. It was such a unbelievable success to England for the Queen.
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth was entertained by this, and so we're excited.
And it's so much better than Hamilton because there's no rap in Oklahoma.
You're right.
Oh my goodness! Well,
horse hooves.
There you go. But think of all those songs. Oh, what a beautiful morning!
All right.
I mean, obviously everybody thinks about the theme song of Oklahoma,
the state song. It's just. And it's just remarkable. We'll have an opportunity in an entertainment environment to bring a lot of people from different generations, and certainly young and old, into it's a solidifying thing. And of course, this is just the beginning of what Clinton is hoping for in terms of igniting or reigniting the outdoor entertainment that Clinton will be able to offer, unlike any other communities. Concerts, and really playing to what is now a permanent growing area of tourism. This is an economic area. There's 2 things happening in Clinton that have got to be absolutely pursued, and I got involved early on the highway construction. This is going to be probably historically it's going to be the greatest economic development program that Clinton has been in since the interstate obviously opened.
Yeah.
And then tourism. Tourism is just not stopping, and we're working, to create an environment where people will stay longer and be even more interested in being in Clinton.
And I saw in the paper that some folks just bought the theater downtown.
That's right.
So they're going to make that a little...
the Hawks. And that is going to be a venue that will be really, I'm not sure that there's anything, outside of Oklahoma City, this environment. And if anyone has ever been in the Redland Theater, and of course a lot of people my age and younger went to the movies there,
Yep.
But it's a bit of a vaudeville theater, where a proscenium stage, and I just have talked to Ryan Houck.
He's a great guy, by the way.
Oh my gosh, and technically superb in on both ends of it. On the technical end and the musical end, but they're going to have a lot of different genres of music, folk, jazz. That will perform live for all the different tastes probably, and the young man. I mean, he's younger than me. Chewy Torres, I think, is going to be who is a great promoter of different events.
Yeah, absolutely, Chewy.
Yeah, and there's going to be it's going to bring on Main Street a really solid venue of entertainment.
And then at the recent council meeting, you guys decided to do a contract with Retail Strategies.
Absolutely, yeah, and that is coming from our city manager and who is overseeing now by law our economic development department. And Fane Sawatsky, of course, is new in there, and they went to a remarkable seminar and intentionally wanted to meet some people that would be important to the future of planning in Clinton. And Retail Strategies, they were introduced to them, and they come highly recommended by some important people in Oklahoma who know their work. They're out of Alabama. It's an Alabama group. And so they will be, along with Fane as their economic developer and the city of Clinton and the Clinton Economic Development Authority, which is your private authority on business growth and development, they are going to join them in site management, site placement, finding retail businesses to come into existing vacancies, and also looking at things that have been abandoned that are ready to go. And they're coming in, frankly, they know this, at a very special time with the opening of our highway.
Yeah.
65A are really going to be a remarkable opportunity for bringing in interstate businesses that cater to those 30,000 vehicles that go by Clinton every day, and bring in that interstate dynamic into Clinton. From an economic standpoint, it bodes well for a huge turnaround in our economic development.
We've talked a lot in the past with this highway, getting rid of dysfunction, junction,
right,
and all of that. Could really open up the south side of the interstate. Is that privately owned, or is some of that tribal land?
No, it's not. It's privately owned on that side. The Schumacher family, or Walt. Carolyn, but they own the Water Zoo, and then much of that property, both east and west of the Water Zoo, all the way up to the area where the La Quinta Inn is, and then that property is owned by that, and those are properties that are already being. I know the Schumacher property, according to him, they've been for the last several months, even prior to construction. People from everywhere in the country wanting to get in and purchase some acreages for development. And then, of course, on the other side, you have Rick Cook, who have purchased the
old hotel.
The old hotel, and both Schumacher and he have been greatly advanced in the value of those properties, because the state the contractors require parking all the huge vehicles and whatnot, and they have upgraded that commercial property.
Yeah.
And then when the off-ramps are that we have now coming in to the McDonald's and Brahms area and all that, when they're gone, then there's going to be an area that we think that the city is going to have access to, like around 17 acres.
Wow.
To develop, that is just east and a little south of what is now Sutherland's.
Oh, okay.
And so that would be the kind of the developmental area that we would have access to, and the rest, is private. Although there is a area where we took down the trade winds, which is being marketed now by CEDA, which is the Clinton Economic Development Authority, which is about 2 acres, where the trade winds right next to the bowling alley and in between there, and that's a nice piece of property, along with several nice pieces of property.
Yeah.
So it is an absolutely one of the greatest things. You know, I don't know. I was given an opportunity as mayor. ODOT called me in 8 years ago to show me the site plan that they were going to use to build. And when I saw it, I knew it was not the plan that the Clinton business community had chosen and was asked to choose, along with citizens of Clinton 2 or 3 years earlier. I knew it was not the plan. So I told him, I said, this is not going to work. This will not be we're not in a position to develop Clinton economically with this plan. Yeah. Turnabouts in front of the water zoo, that sort of thing.
It's going to be a mess.
Yeah. So I went back to the city council and I convinced them, and they were happy to have a resolution protesting that particular plan. And fortunately, ODOT, to their credit, said, you know what? We'll go back to the drawing board, and we will the plan that you've chosen, we're going to bring it back. And that's what you're seeing today. And it absolutely is going to be a fantastic stimulant for the economic new jobs.
Yeah.
You know, the whole thing, a sales tax. So we're very thankful and excited.
Absolutely. We're talking with Clinton Mayor David Brong on the Wake Up Show. Quick break, back with more right after this.
Listen to farmers and ranchers talk about Gentner Drummond.
This is Megan Langley, poultry farmer and owner of Egg Drop Farm, with a warning about Gentner Drummond. Gentner Drummond tried to put my poultry farm out of business when he sued farmers and ranchers. Then he cut a bogus settlement to enrich his trial lawyer buddies. You just can't trust him.
This is Kinsey Pepper, a proud Oklahoma rancher. The Cattlemen's Association understood that Gentner Drummond is a liar. He sues farmers and ranchers. That's why the Cattlemen's Association pulled their endorsement of him. If Gentner Drummond sues farmers and ranchers, your farm, your ranch, and your livelihood could be next.
The clear choice, Republican Mike Mazzei, endorsed by President Trump. A strong supporter of Oklahoma farmers and ranchers, Mike Mazzei for governor. Authorized and paid for by Mazzei for Governor 2026.
Senate District 26 needs a leader who understands our local economy, not someone learning on the job.
Western Oklahoma needs a leader who has a proven record of listening and accomplishing. For over 40 years, I've run successful businesses thanks to the great people here in District 26. Together, we can continue to do great things. Now I'm ready to serve as your next state senator.
For steady leadership and proven results, vote Rick Cook for state senate.
Paid for by friends of Rick Cook 2026.
Shh, here it comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. So loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Briley Bacca is an investment advisor representative of and advisory services offered through Royal Fund Management, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
One of my earliest memories was waking up to a box of donuts on the kitchen table. By the time I woke up, Dad had already been at work for hours. He'd come home just long enough to leave breakfast for me, take me to school, and then head right back to the office. Back then, I thought it was all about the donuts. Looking back, I realized it never really was. Dad wasn't just building a business, he was building a reputation. One handshake, one family, one relationship at a time. If you're looking for experienced retirement guidance from a family that spent more than 3 decades earning the trust of people we serve, we'd love the opportunity to earn yours. I'm Briley Bacca with Advanced Financial Strategies. Now the donuts are long gone, but the work ethic that put them on the table is still the foundation of everything that we do. Call us today, 323-6800. Or visit our website, retirewithbacca.com.
727, the Wake Up Show. Todd Bruner along with Clinton Mayor David Brong. Well, drought is ongoing.
Absolutely.
What's the situation with water in Clinton? Because, you know, back in 2011, it was kind of scary, right?
2011 we almost lost Western Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And so everyone that, that could, all the communities, they did what they could to create a future, where that would not happen again. Clinton did a couple of things, and one is paying off in spades right now. We entered into a contract in 2010, 2011 with Canute, a 20-year contract for 4 wells, ground wells, the first groundwater that was ever going to come into Clinton, or certainly in decades. And it today has just meant so much to this drought. And if you drive by Clinton Lake, you'd think it's been raining.
Yeah.
And here's why. As I understand the numbers, those Canute wells are bringing 500,000 gallons of water into the treatment center, not into the lake, but in the Clinton Lake Treatment Center, and then straight into the homes and the businesses in Clinton. And that is why that lake, which is our prime source, but Clinton is diversified in water. And, of course, we built the $28 million reverse osmosis plant, which is being used periodically to keep it healthy, and that stands ready really for industrial development and for recruiting companies that require water. But then we have the third and the long term, and it's the forever contract with Foss Lake. We have that, which is a take or pay thing, and Clinton is, by the law agreement we've had for 60 years with the federal government, is taking its allotment, even though we could. I mean, that's just an insurance policy now, but Foss Lake is suffering, and it's beginning to suffer because the Ouachita River is its outlet.
Yeah. And
a classic picture, Todd, was I chair the Foss board, and the director. Deweese brought in a telling picture north and little west of Butler, where the Ouachita is running. A picture of it was absolutely dry, and a bridge over it had a huge oil field irrigation water, or the water pipe on the bridge, and you had the Ouachita dry, and what is happening. The fracking, which is happening, which we're all, happy about the coming back on oil and gas and drilling. Some of that's limited now because they don't have enough water.
Wow.
To be able to, as I understand it, draw because of this drought, and Foss Lake is beginning to suffer. Mm-hmm. So Clinton is in an excellent position. It took care of business back in 2011, and so that happened. We're probably we're the single largest source of water now in Western Oklahoma, with all our diversity.
We can move in data centers now.
No, don't even.
I'm just joking.
No, I know.
David Brong, our guest here on the Wake Up Show. One other question I just had. All this talk in Weatherford about a potential TIF district to bring in retail. Now with all of this construction on I-40, as we talked about opening up the south side, you guys have done a TIF district before.
Yes.
Any thought about potentially doing that down the road?
Of course there is, but we're also going to rely on professionals and the best way to develop the area. And it's private property. Some of it's going to be developed, and then we hope to have some city-owned property that we can do some special things with, and if a TIF district makes sense, in the eyes of the professionals, then we certainly are in a position to try to go that direction. And the Schumacher Water Zoo thing worked out beautifully because you have to pay back within a certain period of time with sales tax on the monies that are advanced in a TIF district, and that went quite quickly, and that has a lot to do with the attitude of the Schumachers and the business owners that take advantage of a TIF district.
Yeah.
But no, that's just one of a lot of bright possibilities that we're investigating certainly now.
All right. Well, Mayor, appreciate you coming
Sure,
in and
absolutely.
sharing all the exciting updates of Clinton. Once
Right.
again, every time I drive over there, and I'm going to be driving over again this afternoon,
Right.
hanging out with the broadcast crew at Clinton High School. But I just love seeing all the progress on I-40.
Well, and there's a lot, there's things happening in Clinton too. And so, it's a process, but there is a realistic hope that we're slowly but surely turning a big economic corner and quality of life corner.
And don't forget, Oklahoma. It's going to be 3 weekends of performances. So
That's exactly right.
Tell that website again.
It's Oklahoma on 66.com.
Oklahoma on 66.com. Stick around. We got news coming your way next.
Hi, I'm Jessica Weingart, and I'm running for state senate. I'm a small business owner, a mom, a wife, and a proud product of rural schools. I've served on our local school board, worked in agriculture for years, and oil and gas has provided for my family. I'm not a career politician. I'm someone who has spent my life solving problems and working hard. I'll fight for agriculture, education, affordable energy, and the values that make rural Oklahoma strong. On August 25th, I'd be honored to earn your vote. Paid for by Jessica Weingart for State Senate 2026.
Mike Mazie has a problem. When Oklahoma needs him, he goes missing. As a state senator, Mazie missed 77% of his votes. On the police pension board, Mazie missed 75% of the meetings. And now, a smelter owned by a Muslim monarchy threatens Oklahoma land, water, and our way of life. Gittner Drummond is fighting to stop it. Mike Mazie flip-flopped, sold us out, missing again.
Now is not the time for weakness. Mike Mazie has shown he can be pushed around. I've been a fighter my entire life. And while Mike Mazie has lied about his record and his plans, I've given you something different. Honest, serious, sober leadership. You may not always agree with me, but you can know I'll tell you the truth. I'm Gittner Drummond. Oklahoma deserves a governor you can trust will fight for you. I ask for your vote on August 25th. Authorized and paid for by Friends of Gittner Drummond, 2026.
7:35, the Wake Up Show. We got John Matthews now. Good morning, sir.
I have never been more excited about an election tomorrow than it's been a minute. I'm just so ready for the advertising, the text messaging, the phone calls, everything. Oh, you ready to vote? Have you voted?
You're getting text messages too? I thought it was just me. I thought I was friends with these people.
No. It's
what?
It's not. They're not actually personal messages. Even though they
They're
say,
not?
"Hi, Todd. Hope your day is going well." Here's what a piece of trash my opponent is. It's usually what. Like, man.
And now they're attaching videos to the text. In case you haven't seen our 8 million commercials.
Yeah.
We're attaching it to this text.
And now what's up with the commercials that all are taglined with paid by no candidates whatsoever? We're a private business.
Not affiliated with any candidate. We're a dark money super PAC funded by people from Afghanistan.
Okay, good. Vote for them, yeah.
Well, I'm just glad that both gubernatorial candidates are going to ban Sharia law because I tell you what, I've heard some talk in Bessie that they were going to implement Sharia law.
I thought that was a thing.
Yeah. My buddy Monty Nickel over there has been wanting to get Sharia law going over there, and both gubernatorial candidates are going to ban it.
What we were concerned about, I guess, more than anything is, what is Sharia law?
What is Sharia law?
Help me with
Okay,
this, 'cause I thought it was just the Muslim, the Quran.
It's a Muslim thing where it's basically a religious law, and obviously you've heard stories about if you steal, we're going to cut your hand off. Yeah. But it's also wanting women to be covered up at all times, which I'm totally against that. I want women to walk around nude. Are you
You're a nude camps guy.
Yeah, I mean, come on. So but is that really an issue? But once again, you got to talk about things that get people fired up.
That's right.
They don't get really fired up talking about a lot of economic issues, but you bring up the trans thing, you bring up Sharia law, people listen. And obviously negative campaigning, if it didn't work, they wouldn't do it. But it must work. So, but I will say maybe my diatribe against the flyers has had some impact because I have not had the amount of flyers for this runoff as I did during the primary. What about you?
I haven't checked my mail.
Yeah, okay.
That's probably why they've stopped, right? Because no one ever checks their mail anymore.
Well, I've only gotten a couple in the last week, and I tell you what, before the primary, I got at least 2 or 3 every day for like a solid month. Now, it may be full this morning.
I'm still waiting on somebody to come knock on my door. That's my favorite.
You haven't had a candidate knock on your door?
Not since the original primary.
It's probably because of your dogs.
That's true. They're a little dangerous.